I'm Chrissy Beth, a photographer based in New York City. I've been part of the Sony Alpha Collective since 2017. I took the new Xperia 5 Mark IV out in New York as the holiday lights were going up. Of course, this poses an incredibly challenging test for any camera. Dramatic light differences are difficult to expose for. Bold lights, so colorful in person, can be hard to translate into a photo. Shooting at night at high ISO often makes for noisy, grainy photos. In my opinion, the Xperia 5 Mark IV performed like a champ in these conditions. I had planned on compiling technical tips, but to be honest, you don't really need them. Pop open the camera app, just long press the dedicated shutter button, and you're ready to shoot. Instead, here's my top 5 tips for shooting holiday lights with your Xperia 5 Mark IV that center largely around composition and will make your photos look pro. Number 1. Go out after the rain or snow. Obviously, snow makes everything look like a winter wonderland, so if you have the chance, go out right after it snows. Don't wait too long, as in New York City, the white snow becomes gray-brown slush very quickly. If snow is not an option, try going out after a good rain. The pavement becomes jet black. It makes the lights pop even more for high-contrast photos. Puddles and shiny surfaces can also make for some great reflective shots. And don't worry about the Xperia 5 Mark IV. It's water resistant. Check out the deeply saturated colors the phone is able to capture. Number 2. Go early or late. Blue hour is a lovely time to shoot Christmas lights. However, especially in the city, and especially during the holidays, it's very busy during this time. It's true that New York is the city that never sleeps, but it does calm down quite a bit later in the evening, and it's a nice, quiet time to roam and shoot without too many tourists or crowds. You'll be able to take your time and focus and capture clean shots. The form factor on this phone is so slim and light. It's only 6.07 ounces, so you can wander for hours. It's also great in low light conditions at night. I'm able to achieve really low noise, sharp photos at any hour. Number 3. Careful with composition. When there is symmetry, stand exactly centered. Even a few inches left or right will make a difference, and you'll never quite be able to fix it in post. Make sure the phone is not tilted left or right in your hands, and get those grid lines on. Once you turn them on, they'll be there every time you open Photography Pro, and they're so useful. Pay close attention to the patterns hitting those grid lines equally. Visual repetition and symmetry are so ordered and intentional, they're a joy to view in a photo. For these types of shots, I like the lines to be super crisp, and the Xperia 5 Mark IV delivered. Look at how finely the detail is rendered, and these were handheld shots. Framing is another compositional consideration. Frames can naturally draw the eye to the focal point of the picture, and they can also serve to cut out unwanted items in your shot. At Lot Palace this year, there were signs about the construction, and I did not think they were very beautiful. So I shot through the iron fence, blocking them out. I love the depth of field the Xperia 5 Mark IV produced here. I just tapped on the tree so the autofocus knew what the main subject of my shot was. Number 4. Take loads of shots at each location. You'll notice when I share my screen recordings that I never take just one picture. 100% of the time, I'm taking 5 to 10 or even more pictures of a certain scene, and at least a few videos. There are 3 focal lengths built into the Xperia 5 Mark IV, 16mm, 24mm, and 60mm, so I often try the shot with several. I'm also trying different exposure levels, making sure that I'm lined up precisely, and trying several compositions, including both portrait and landscape orientations. If you look at any photographer's camera roll, you'll see the same thing. There's a happy medium between spraying and praying and playing the odds. You'll have a better chance of getting that perfect shot you want if you give yourself some options to choose from. And the Xperia 5 Mark IV has expandable storage up to 1 terabyte via micro SD card, so go wild. Number 5. Check your photos before you leave the location. I cannot tell you the number of times I've been just slightly off center or overexposed a little bit or didn't have a sharp focus on something. Get into this habit of reviewing your shots before leaving a location. If anything is off, you can redo them then and there and save yourself a trip back out for a mulligan. Your future self will thank you. The Xperia 5 Mark IV screen makes it easy. The bright, crisp OLED has full high definition. You can zoom in and pixel peep to make sure every detail is just how you want it. All photos and videos throughout were taken with the Xperia 5 Mark IV. Were you as blown away as I was by the colors and the clarity? My final verdict is this small device is a super convenient content creating powerhouse.